Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I recently returned to dating, and it's been bittersweet. And so one of the most bitter parts of the situation is that it made me realize just how badly discriminated I was. I was discriminated against during the time that I was single. So I go to my favorite restaurant with the date, including restaurants that I had gone alone before, or my date comes here to pick me up, and the treatment is completely night and day compared to when I was alone. I get the sense that people treat single men as if they are some kind of disease in our society, right? They're a threat of some sort. I really got the sense of that when I compared and contrasted the last couple of weeks, and I suspect it's going to get even worse as I grow older. So it's making me motivated to do whatever I can to keep myself healthy so that I don't look old, right? And so I did some googling. Well, before I go to that, I was doing some shopping for Christmas. I had been ordering some Legos to make a portrait of Mary Curry, and so I was a little bit shocked by the price. Let's put it that way. It's not unaffordable. It's just that it's something that kind of stings a little bit, right? And I thought to myself, gee, if only I had two incomes. Well, I guess I do have two, right? If only I had four incomes to work with, it might not be so bad. And so I did some googling. How much more do people make when they're married? And I discovered that here in the United States, if you control for education, for the job involved, and for other factors, singles only make 40 cents out of every dollar that a married person makes, right? It's way worse. As much as we talk about gender inequality or racial inequality, singles inequality is way worse than either one of those, perhaps both of them combined. But so here in the United States, a single individual only makes 40% of what a similarly situated married person makes for the same work. Now, granted, a lot of it is because we end up doing more unpaid overtime work, right? A lot of it is also that we don't get the benefits, right? Health insurance that we can give to a spouse. Some of it is we don't get to pass our social security pensions to our spouses. They controlled for all of that. But when the numbers were all crunched down, for the same amount of effort, we only get 40 cents out of every dollar. And so I did some math and calculated how much I'm being jiffed every year, and it was $75,000 every year. And I thought about it. Gee, I wouldn't have hesitated on buying the Legos if only I had an extra. We'll call it an extra 50,000 a year because there's taxes and all that, right? If I had an extra 50,000 a year after tax, it wouldn't have been a big deal at all, right? In fact, there are so many other things that I need to do right now that I've been putting off, right? I'm driving around with a cracked windscreen. Not necessarily just the cost of the windscreen, but also I need my car. I don't have a spouse that has a car to load me for the week, right? And all the rest, right? And also I have to juggle both of those incomes. Other people who have two incomes have two people, right? I'm one person juggling what two people do. I was working at a startup company many years ago, and so I ended up staying late a number of nights. And when I stayed late, I actually had to go eat out at a restaurant. Other people had a spouse they could take turns cooking, and it just highlighted another penalty of being single in our society, and it just hurts, right? Now, on top of all, if all those financial penalties were not enough, people then give me bad treatment for being single, right? Tomorrow, I'm going to be going to one of my favorite board game meetups with my date, and once again, I'm going to be very upset at how I got treated. Not only am I upset at how I got treated weeks ago, I also feel for those who don't have somebody to bring to the, especially guys. For single women, it's not so bad, but I almost thought about, if this date doesn't go right eventually, if I'm single again, I almost thought about hiring somebody to go to these events with me or go to office events with me just so that I get proper treatment. I almost thought about that. That's how acute the penalty is, right? Oh, right. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.